My fellow Americans, I just want to thank you all for helping me win the race. I was told it was a photo finish, so I just hope my hair looked good. I mean, it must have "you can't win best in show" on a bad hair day. From the very first time they trotted me out in Congress, I knew I was made for politics. I knew that if I just saddled up, loosened the reins, and hit the hay, that I would stir up the country. It behooves me to say that we must not canter, but gallop to greatness. Thank you for totally making me your president. I plan to mount up cross country and ride for you.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. You know the thing I really want to see? AOC in handcuffs. Yeah, because, well, I've seen her in invisible handcuffs. I'd love to see her in real handcuffs. You know what I mean? This is a photo of AOC getting arrested in front of the Supreme Court. She was like laying down on the street by the cops. You'll notice something remarkable about all this is that AOC is not handcuffed, yet she's doing invisible handcuffs for the cameras. She has her hands behind her back doing invisible handcuffs. This is what you'd call a fraud. This is what you call a very disturbed person, like somebody who'd go to the border and cry in front of an empty parking lot. Candace Owens perfectly trolling AOC here. I decided to stage photos like AOC, except I'm outside of an inner city school where the conditions are abhorrent for Black Americans. AOC is in front of an empty parking lot. This was an all-timer from Candace. Is an absolute all-timer. Well done. Like how deeply unserious this moment is. And it's certainly not the first or last time that AOC has decided to be an absolute fraud. AOC decided to fly first class, coast to coast, a ticket that could cost upwards of $5,000. Looks like a lay flat seat too. My goodness. She was flying from Queens to Las Vegas for the Fighting the Oligarchy campaign event. AOC caught flying first class for the Bernie Sanders tour. Who paid for the seat exactly? Everybody talking about it. Why would AOC allow herself to be so bourgeois? But it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. AOC has now been caught lacking. AOC on a private jet in 4K. Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go. There's the actual footage right there. AOC getting off a massive, very expensive private jet that costs $15,000 per hour to operate. Champagne socialists Sanders and AOC spotted exiting private jet on Fighting Oligarchy tour. Sanders' campaign committee spent $200,000 on private jets in the first quarter of 2025. Oh my goodness. There it is. Fight the oligarchy. Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez chartered a private jet, $15,000 an hour, for several West Coast stops on the Fighting Oligarchy tour. Sanders boarded the luxury Bombardier Challenger jet, Meadowsfield Airport in Bakersfield, California, on Tuesday afternoon, according to a photo captured by a source on the ground, shared exclusively with Fox News. Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez, whom the source spotted boarding the private jet, spoke at their Fighting the Oligarchy event in Bakersfield. Let's go ahead and see. What are the people delighted to at these events? How do they sound? Here's AOC spitting wisdom and bars.
Donald Trump is a criminal who was found guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud, liable for sexual abuse. Of course he's lying and abusing and manipulating the stock market too. When he talks about rapists and criminals, he should look in the mirror.
What is this Kamala Harris levels of new accent? All right, well, maybe if you're standing in front of a Fight Oligarchy sign, you should look in the mirror because you're the one flying in the $32 million jet. Look at that. The Bombardier Challenger 350, this is the jet that they're on, are supersized cabin private jets, respectively. A new Challenger can be listed between $26 million and $32 million. My goodness gracious. Okay. Here's the images of what these jets look like. Oh, they are nice. Look at that on the inside. Wow, would you look at This is even better than the first class ticket for AOC. Wow. Flight records reveal the jet landed in Sacramento Airport. It's about a 20-minute drive where the self-identified Democrat Socialists hosted their second rally. They've been zipping around on the fight oligarchy private jet. I love this news cycle. This is great. Oh yeah. So it's not the only time that AOC, of course, has been totally and completely destroyed. AOC is under criminal investigation. I don't know. She's still under investigation for her Met Gala dress. Tax the rich. She's going to a gala that costs $50,000 a piece. She's under investigation because she's accepting gifts that are very expensive, like the tax the rich dress. She is accepting gala tickets that are like $50,000. You're not allowed to do that. She's accepting hair and makeup that she didn't pay for. And the U.S. House Ethics Panels launched an investigation. Goodness gracious. She also had a criminal illegal alien on her staff. And this is who Democrats are going to pick to be their 2028 nominee. Election guru Nate Silver reveals that AOC is the Democrat most likely to be on the 2028 ticket. Let's watch.
Move over Kamala, step aside Gavin Newsom. The new favorite for the 2028 Democratic presidential nominee is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's come a long way since 2018 when she burst onto the scene unexpectedly. Well, the progressive squad member is now the Democratic Party's most popular elected official and apparently has made a name for herself into a legit White House contender. Pollster Nate Silver has given AOC an early nod for 2028.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has broad appeal across the Democratic Party, and there's a lot of people who could potentially get on board with her.
She was going to be my first pick, and I can't conceal that now, right? I'm not registered as a Democrat in New York, but I might be like, hey, look, at least this is somebody who, like, understands how, like, the average American, like, thinks nowadays. But, like, she would have been my first pick. She was going to be my dark horse.
Please. I beg of you. Do it. Way too early, 2028 Democratic primary draft. Nate Silver saying it's AOC. Goodness. I mean, careful what you wish for, I guess, right? It's the way that you always kind of have to craft these things. But why would AOC run for president in 2028 when the planet's already gone because of global warming, as AOC predicted?
And people, and Gen Z and all these folks that come after us are looking up, and we're like, the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. And your biggest issue is your biggest issue is how are we going to pay for it? And like, this is the war. This is our World War II.
Will she campaign in this dress? When she runs for president, will she campaign in the dress? Will she wear the invisible handcuffs? Will she cry in empty parking lots? I don't know. But boy, it's going to be damn entertaining. Make sure you're liked, shared, and subscribed right here to get all of it. It's going to be a wild ride. It's your boy Benny. See ya.